Hello, Watem here, and welcome back to small Umineko When Seagulls Cry. Before we continue, just some thoughts which I've had since the last time. We know that the Bachelor in here is aware of the game, since he said it's not his turn yet. But I'm not sure that this Beatrice is. I am somewhat thinking that we've got Bachelor in the real world and a Beatrice in the real world. But then also a Bachelor like in and Beatrice in the Witch's world, kind of watching the game. So it might be that they can choose how to set the game board, but they can't directly control their own piece. One of the reasons I'm thinking this is because Beatrice wasn't aware of the ward on the study door when she should have been, from the previous time around. Bachelor is aware of the game, but we don't actually necessarily know for sure if he has knowledge that he otherwise wouldn't have. Also, we saw a section before, when Bachelor's in the witch world, and they're seeing what happened from Rose's kind of point of view. So, yeah, Real world Bachelor wasn't there, but Witch world Bachelor was still commentating on it. So I think what we see, like during the story, is what the two of them are seeing, even though it isn't necessarily following either of them. And we might not actually get, they might not be getting Beatrice's human world point of view for Bachelor. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking, maybe. We also don't know if the human world Beatrice is aware of the game between her and Bachelor.
そのようなお客様相手に源氏さんならともかくこんな子供を生かせていいのですか。もし何かの粗相があったら失礼にあたります。確かに彼らの年季は長いですが、しかるべきところで修行をしたことがあるわけじゃない。正直に申し上げてお客様に接する基礎ができていないのです。
Wow. Gorda spoke bluntly, even though Shannon was standing right there in the kitchen. Shannon was the one whom Genji had ordered to carry dinner to Beatrice's room. By the ranking system among the servants permitted to wear the Golden Eagle, Shannon certainly was the second highest in rank. If the highest rank, Genji, went to set the table in Kinza's room, then it fell to Shannon to set the table in Beatrice's room. Goda's pride was always horribly injured by this ranking system. At times like this, he'd speak out bluntly and rudely against Shannon and Cannon. Goda kept raising examples of each of Shannon's failures until now, making a ruckus about how she couldn't do this or was terrible at that. Shannon, who listened to this with her head hung in shame, heard Cannon's voice from behind her. Cannon had been leaning against the wall in the hallway near the kitchen entrance, a blind spot from the inside, and had been listening to all of this. He probably knew that if he entered the kitchen, sparks would start to fly his way.
言わせておきなよ。
Oh?
最低の男だ。
でも接待の基礎の勉強になるし、合田さんはたくさん勉強してるからとても参考に。
He probably won't be willing to teach you, because then he'd give away his own position.
姉さんは優しいね。
それより貴賓室のお客様がベアトリーチェ様だというのは本当なの？
うん。昼食の配膳に行かされた時にあった。間違いなくあいつだったよ。
そう。お元気そうだった？
Not what Cannon wanted to hear her ask. Cannon remembered that he and Shannon had different impressions of Beatrice. To Shannon, Beatrice was a cupid of love who had granted her magic to establish a relationship with George. Judging by the expression that rose to her face, it looked like she couldn't wait to inform Beatrice of how her relationship with George had progressed. However, Cannon already knew. That witch came here with a terrifying goal in mind. The nebulous witch that only they'd been able to see in the past had now revived so fully that she could walk in openly through the front door, and even have dinner carried to her. Once, when she'd vanished from in front of Cannon, Witch said something about how her own power was still weak. So, if that witch was now reappearing so openly, did it mean she'd finally regained her former power? And she said something else too. She definitely said that she'd sown the seeds of love, while fully aware that they would fail. And she said even more. She definitely said that the day had finally come, upon which the door to the Golden Land would be opened.
シャノン、あいつは親方様と何かの怪しげな儀式をし、きっと想像もできない恐ろしいことをする。それには誰も抗えない。
Bachelor definitely will.
何の話なの？
あいつはやってきたんだ。親方様が求めた黄金鏡の扉を開き、すべてを黄金鏡に戻すために。あいつは僕に確かにそう言った。
In the past, the two of them, as furniture working for Kinzo, had been told what opening the door to the Golden Land meant. So Shannon understood everything, without having to ask a single question. And because of that, she felt a deep despair. Something tore at Cannon's heart as he looked at that expression, twisted with grief.
そんな。どうして今になって。
だから言ったんだ。僕らは家具だって。人間の真似事なんかして恋なんかするから、僕たちの役目の終わるこの日を素直に受け入れられない。
いつかこの日が訪れることをかつては願ってた。でもいつまで経っても訪れなくて。
Now that you finally wish that it doesn't come, it comes.
私たちはいつまで家具として苦しめばいいのかわからなくて。だから私思ったの。安息の日なんて永遠に訪れないんだって。
僕だってそう思ってたさ。でも必ずいつか訪れるって僕は信じてた。だから僕は家具としての自覚を忘れなかったんだ。なのに姉さんは忘れた。
私が悪いのね。私が。
ああ、姉さんが悪い。姉さんさえ恋を覚えなかったら、僕たちはようやく訪れた今日を喜び合うはずだった。姉さんがくだらない未練を作ってしまったんだ。
Oh, they're not regrets yet. The regrets will be that she wasn't able to keep going.
必ず去らなければならない世界なのに。
儀式は今夜始まるの？
あと今夜ジョージ様は姉さんに婚約指輪を贈るだろうって。
That was a fact. George supposedly had an engagement ring hidden in his pocket today. And surely he would hand it over tonight.
あいつは姉さんとジョージ様を第二の番の生贄に使うつもりで二人の仲をくっつけたんだ。わかる？ 姉さんはあいつにそそのかされた上、利用されたんだよ。
そうだったの。考えたこともなかったわ。
でもあいつは言ったよ。
It doesn't matter which couple.
もし今夜その婚約指輪を受け取らなかったなら、姉さんを生贄に選ばないと約束した。
Well, even though she did accept the engagement ring last time, she was chosen as a sacrifice, but not for the second Twilight, just for the first one.
僕たちが揃って黄金鏡へ行ける確率はとても低いと思う。13人が生贄になる。生き残るのは5人だけ。その中に僕たち2人が入れる確率は本当に低い。でも姉さんだけでもその約束が得られるなら確率はもっと上がる。
Will she want George to go instead of her, maybe?
僕はかけたいんだ。黄金鏡には救いがある。僕たちはそこへたどり着き、人間を手に入れるんだ。そして姉さんと2人で人間としての人生を歩みたいんだよ。
Yeah, and they're not going to reach the Golden Land because battle is going to ruin it all.
そうすれば本当の恋だってできるかもしれない。
And then, yeah, you're going to find true love, and you realize that you let your true love die. Rip. But yeah, I feel like Maria's going to get to the end most times. It's going to be in this final 5.
かつての私たちは黄金鏡へ行けることを夢見てたね。
Yeah, from what we've been told so far, it seems that the first 7, wasn't it? 6. Yeah, the first 6 are randomly chosen. Neither side can really influence it or choose it. So I guess it's possible for Maria to be in for 6, but let's see. She wouldn't be in the second Twilight. Third Twilight, still don't know exactly what that means. Like, sure, it could be them talking about Beatrice, but yeah, don't know for certain, especially because it's worded oddly. But yeah, in any case, it seems like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, although we do know from we don't have the list here, but each of these 7 dagger things represents a sin, and I think we were told that they need to have that sin or something, or to be able to be hurt by it. So I suppose if there's one which only Maria fits into, she might have to be sacrificed that way. Don't know.
そこへ行けばどんな願いでも叶う。私たちをこの苦しみから救ってくれる。そう信じてた。
However, in this ceremony, only a few people would be invited to the Golden Land, chosen by fate and chance. Everyone else would lose their life as a sacrifice midway through the ceremony. However, in the past, Shannon and Cannon had thought that whether they reached Golden Land or were sacrificed, they would still be released from their duties as furniture. That meant the ceremony would definitely bring release to furniture like them, no matter what happened.
僕は嫌だ。これまでの辛かった分を姉さんと取り戻したい。生贄なんてごめんだ。僕と姉さんは生き残る。そして2人で黄金鏡へたどり着く。だから姉さんを第二の晩の生贄になんかさせない。 頼むよ姉さん。あの男の指輪を受け取らないで。それを受け取らなければ、あいつは姉さんを生贄には選ばないと約束してくれた。
それはできないよ。今夜の指輪はとても特別なもの。それを受け取らないことは私の心が許さない。
姉さん、儀式の生贄は魔女が気まぐれに決めることになってる。その魔女が姉さんだけは見逃すと約束してくれたんだよ。姉さんだけは絶対に黄金鏡へ行けるんだ。
私だけ？カノン君は？
僕は魔女のゲームで十分さ。あいつの魔女なんかかいくぐってやる。
Yeah.
僕は無力じゃない。わずかの確率を。僕たちのせいなんて所詮は仮初めじゃないか。本当の人生を始めるために僕たちは黄金鏡へたどり着こう。
Yeah, also I noticed with this chapter within like the chapter title the save was like furniture and humans, both in quotation marks.
そして人間を手に入れよう。そうしたらさ、僕も姉さんみたいに恋が知れるかな。もう家具だからって人を泣かせずに済むかな。
カノン君、
僕はもう家具は嫌だ。絶対に人間になってやる。こんな苦しみから絶対に。
There were tears in Cannon's eyes. By now, Cannon had noticed. Shannon hadn't been the only one to know and suffer from the taste of love. He had too. The tears Jessica had shown him that day, and Jessica's pitiful face as she tried to smooth things over and stay bright ever since then. It slowly wrought some kind of change on Cannon's heart without him knowing it. Aww.
シャノン、さっきから呼んでいる。
Shannon jumped at the sudden sound of Genji's voice. Apparently he had called for her repeatedly. She hurriedly answered. When she turned back, Cannon had disappeared. It seemed he didn't feel like showing his tears to anybody.
はい、ぼんやりしていてすみません。
昼食はカノンに頼んだが、本来は私の次の序列のお前が運ぶべきものだ。ベアトリーチェ様は当家の最高の賓客だ。それ以上の賓客はいない。もう一人の親方様と思い、丁重に頼む。
That kind of sounds like Genji might not have been able to see Beatrice earlier.
よろしいですか。くれぐれも粗相のないようにお願いしますよ。経験の未熟なあなたに託すのは非常に心苦しいですが、当家のルールとあっては仕方ありません。くれぐれも頼みますよ。
Goda had officially agreed, but he glared at Shannon with an expression that told her he definitely wouldn't forgive any mistakes. Even Shannon felt that Goda might as well go himself if he was so desperate to go. But she considered this one of her responsibilities, as one who had been allowed to wear the golden eagle, and had to give up. And anyway, I wanted to meet Beatrice. What will I talk about? What will I ask? I don't know. Will this be a meeting of gratitude, or one of grief? Or else, what? I don't know. Shannon piled the witch's food onto the serving cart, and left the kitchen at a slow pace. The person knocking was Kraus.
お父さん、今日は年に一度の親族会議です。お父さんを一目見ようと兄弟が揃ったのではありませんか。
黙れ。出ぬと言っている。源氏、そこにいるのであろう。
なぜ私の指示した通りに食事をここへ運ばせんのか。
Kinzo screamed across the door. Genji was waiting behind Kraus.
お食事は書斎へ運べるよう準備しております。ただクラウス様が今夜はどうか下へ降りていただきたい
と。お父さん、毎日とは言いません。せめて今夜だけでも家族で揃ってはくれませんか。
誰が家族か。貴様はいつから生き倒れを待つハゲタカたちを家族と呼ぶようになったのか。腐りて湧き出すウジ虫を家族と呼ぶようになったのか。
やれやれ。
Kraus shrugged at this answer, which he had half expected.
源氏、言われた通りに食事をここへ運べ。なぜ言うことを聞かぬ。
You know.
なぜ。
I was going to say, maybe Kraus was going to bring up Beatrice, but he might not know about her yet either. Since the siblings are keeping quiet to try to get their own information out of it.
なぜ。
源氏さん、後を頼みます。もうあの人に私の声は届かんね。
Kraus gave his head a small shake, then quickly turned his back on the door to the study. He had only come calling to save face in front of his siblings, knowing full well how useless this was. After Genji watched Kraus disappear down the stairs, he called again across the door.
親方様、お食事を運ぶ準備はできております。南條先生の分はいかがいたしますか。
Nanjo could be seen in the study, because Kinzo had forcibly pestered him into finishing the long-lasting chess game they've been playing against each other since the early evening. Nanjo had announced as a doctor that Kinzo's days were numbered, so he couldn't refuse if Kinzo demanded that they finish this game while he still lived. Kinzo was thinking deeply about his move, concentrating more than usual. It had been Kinzo's turn for quite some time. Nanjo, he was tired of waiting, and randomly pulled out a book of magic that he couldn't understand, and was skimming through it. Not skimming it.
金蔵さん、盤面を前に腕を組むだけではいい一手は出ませんぞ。
I mean, he might be calculating all the possible repercussions of this move.
一つ休憩をして頭をリフレッシュしてみるのもいいのではありませんかな。
黙れ。守りはこれで十分か。ビショップやナイトに隙間を突かれはしないか。
Today, Kinzo was focused on maintaining a strong defense. I'm wondering if he's black or white in this situation. But then again, they're always using the same chess picture. Normally, Kinzo's motto was that offense was the best defense. However, today was completely the opposite. Maybe because of all the differences in what's it called? Because it's the witch's roulette stuff. He wants to shore up his defense.
私も腹が減りました。ここいらで中断しませんか。それに休みなく頭を回転させておりましたから、もう頭がクラクラです。これ以上は私も最善手をさせるとは限りませんぞ。
それは困る。チェスは互いに常に最善手を指さねばならぬ。そうでない一手は理解に苦しみ、思考を読むゲームを狂わせてしまう。それでは今日を著しく削ぐというものだ。
Kinzo sighed deeply and finally shifted his gaze away from the board. Chess isn't chess without an opponent. If that opponent is tired and wants to suspend the game, there's no getting around it.
確かにチェスの目的は勝利を目指すことで、互いにそのために最善手を指す。
Yeah, I mean sometimes, especially if you're losing, instead of aiming to win, you might aim for a draw.
そしてそれを読み合う知的ゲームです。ですが、勝利以外にもう一つ目的があることを金蔵さんはお忘れではありませんかな。
Stalemate?
なんだと？勝利以外にどんな目的があるというのか。
Maybe. Well, they're not playing with time, so it wouldn't be flagging.
金蔵さんがそんなこともお忘れとは。チェスを通し、親友と楽しい時間を過ごす。ですぞ。
Sure.
参ったな。それは確かずいぶん昔に私がお前に言った言葉だったはず。これは参った。
Kinzo, who almost always wore a frown, relaxed his face for once and laughed. Nanjo felt like he'd been reunited with a close friend he hadn't seen in ages.
そういうことです。一本取られたついでにどうです？私と下に降りて食事と行きませんかな。食後にコーヒーと一緒にカスパロフの中盤についての議論でもいかがです？
良い提案だが遠慮する。
Not entirely surprised.
私はもうこの部屋から出られない。儀式は始まっているのでな。
そうですか。
He can no longer leave the room since the ceremony has started. Then why and how did he leave the room last time?
では私はお腹もペコペコですからな。下へ降りることにします。
And he's focusing on his defenses, like how he has the scorpion ward on the door. Of course.
気が向いたらいつでも。
南條、ありがと
う。おや、何の礼ですかな？
Being a friend?
お前とのチェスの決着はつかなかった。だが、私が忘れていたチェスの目的はどうやら果たせたらしい。それはどうもチェックメイトと同じくらい重要なものであったらしい。
らしくもない。何の干渉ですかな。
お前が言ったのではないか。私には余命がないと。もう行け。そしてもうこの部屋へ来るな。続きは黄金鏡であろ
う。いいですが、仕切り直しですぞ。ルークが落ちてしまったのは痛手ですのでな。それでは後ほど。
ああ、後ほどな。黄金鏡か煉獄か、あるいは次の世で。
Nanjo didn't say anything beyond that, and, with a motion made smooth by familiarity, he pushed a button on the table that would release the auto lock. Then, after looking at Kinzo's back one last time, he left the study. As he did, Genji's voice came from the hall.
それでは親方様、これより夕食をお運びいたします。
最後の晩餐になるやもしれぬ。味わわねばな。準備を頼む。
かしこまりました。親方様のご準備の方は 万端となりましたか。
うん。この部屋を今日まで問え旗への結界で厳重に包んだ。あれのルーレットが私を選ぼうとも必ずや弾き返す。そして生き残り黄金鏡へたどり着くうちの一人は絶対に私となる。私を冥府へ連れ去ろうとする死神どもの来訪をも拒もうぞ。
失礼します。
So to be Shannon talking with Beatrice, so I think I'll end it there for today. I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know any feedback you have in the comments. And yeah, until next time. See ya.